Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining this session. My name is Adriano di Toppa. I work for Kemin Industries. In my presentation, I will describe you the new self-service reporting platform which we built for Kemin, and I will focus on some of the peculiar aspects of the company which have, let's say, put some specific requirements for the new platform. I will start, in fact, discussing a little bit about Kemin, describing how the company has evolved, and I will also describe my role in Kemin. In fact, I've been working here for 8 years now, and I have covered multiple roles. I've been working in IT as an ERP expert. Then I had the opportunity to work for 3 years as a supply chain manager, so for EMEA region. So I was in charge of procurement, logistics, manufacturing planning, and customer service for the entire EMEA region. And this gave me the ability, the opportunity to have a deep knowledge of the company processes, from the sourcing of the raw materials up to the distribution of goods, or eventually also the return of goods from the final destination, from the customers. And it also gave me the ability to really understand what business wants from a reporting system. When you see the perspective from the other perspective, you understand what the business users want from your system. I will start describing a little more about Kemin. I want to start from the vision. The vision says that we strive to improve the quality of life by touching half of the population of the world every day with our products and services. So at Kemin, we really think that serving our customers can have a positive impact on the people of billions of the people of the world. We reached this vision, I think, in September last year. So we roughly now have like 7 billion people living on the world. And in September, we touched about 3.8 billion lives every day with our products and services. In Kemin, in all facilities, we have large screens which have counters, which count how many people have been reached by our products and services the day before, based on the sales of our products and based on the intake ratios of our ingredients. In fact, Kemin is a B2B company. We produce ingredients for several industries, for animal nutrition and health, for the pet food and rendering technologies, for the food industry, for the human nutrition and health, for the crop technologies and textile auxiliaries. I will give you now a quick example. So let's talk about beer. Beer is a very common product. For instance, Kemin manufactures some ingredients, which are used as mold inhibitors for yeast. So they prevent the growth of mold in a yeast. The yeast is then used to produce bread or to produce beer. Let's say 1 kilo of mold inhibitor can be applied to 100 kilos of yeast, and then it's used to produce 1 ton of beer. And 1 ton of beer can be consumed by 1,000, 2,000 people, depends. I'm Italian, we don't use too much beer, but in other countries it's very popular. So, and then you can understand that from 1 kilo of products sold by Kemin, we reach 1,000 people every day. So I wanted to focus on this aspect to describe you a little more the framework, so to describe you the scenario. Kemin operates now in more than 90 countries and has research facilities and manufacturing facilities all over the world. Here in red dots you see the sales offices, in the blue dots you see the manufacturing facility, and the green dots you see the growing location. We grow some of the crops that we utilize to produce our ingredients. The multicultural and diverse environment at Kemin has represented quite a challenge in the design of the new BI platform, because you have different countries with different regulations and different rules. I will give you a specific example on the sales reporting process, which is one of the most common reporting processes which each organization has to have. For instance, some of the typical sales measures are considered as sensitive data in some region. For instance, in India and China, salesperson cannot access the gross margin the company is making on the product they sell. In Europe and in the United States, this is a normal practice to give salesperson the margin is doing selling our products. So there are multiple examples like similar to this one. So the new system was designed to support self-service, but at the same time to respect, to meet some of the local requirements. Everything started because the previous system, the system reporting system, was approaching to the end of life. The system reporting system was a traditional one, was IT-centric. This means that it could provide centralized control of the data and all the reports. But at the same time, if you wanted to develop, if business wanted to develop, to ask the IT to develop a new report, it will require IT to create the scripts, create the interface, the logic behind. So the process was quite long. The previous system, or the existing system, could not support at all self-service and could not support at all row-level security and object-level security, which are topics which I know that most of you already know, but we will discuss in a few slides. So, in a nutshell, it could not be used anymore to support the growth of Kemin, because Kemin is also growing a lot by acquisition. So, when you acquire new companies, you have a lot of new processes to be considered in your system, and when you deploy the system to a new sister company, but the existing user will only use the old data because they lived with the old system for years, and they really need those data. And as a IT, I'm a data engineer, you need to grant them access also to the old data, but you have to integrate with your new platform. Well, the new platform pretty much uses and follows the most common standards in the industry. So we have our transactional systems, data is extracted, loaded and transformed into a data warehouse, and on top of it we built a semantic model with using SQL Server analysis services. And then end user can access it using Power BI or Excel, of course. When the SQL Server analysis services tabular as I said, is built on top of the data warehouse. The data warehouse is extracting data from multiple systems. We have the ERP system, of course, which is common, which is developed everywhere. So each facility has access to the ERP. We have the manufacturing execution system. We have the HR management system. And we have a universe of multiple small middlewares which were built during the time in each single facility, which we still need in order to provide business continuity. So all this information is loaded into the data warehouse once a day, and then data is pulled from a SSIS semantic model. And we built several cubes. Today I'm going to focus, as I said, on the sales reporting. So we will focus a bit more on the sales cube. The sales cube is used by finance people, by sales people, by executives to gather information about the sales, of course, and it can be accessed by Excel. So if you have the opportunity to use Excel with Tabular, you probably have been surprised by the speed of it. So how much fast you can access a large amount of data connecting Excel to a tabular model. Salespeople love the way they can access the tabular model using Power BI on their mobile. In fact, one of the processes which have been impacted but this is the sales reporting. And I wanna give you some more details on this. As I said at the beginning, we wanted to support self-service, but we wanted to grant both row-level security and object-level security. So we want to have people accessing their data, salespeople accessing the data, but depending on their access rights. Let's say we have a salesperson from Italy, and then we have a salesperson from Sweden, and then we have a regional sales manager which can manage larger regions. So we extract the information every day from the HR management system. Then we use DAX functions to manage the parent-child hierarchies. This information is transferred to the SSIS, and SSIS will be taking care of showing data only to the people that are allowed to see. So for instance, again, if we have a South Europe manager, he can see data from Italy, from Spain, while the sales manager for Scandinavia can see from Sweden and Norway. Then we have a sales director, which is global, has global access for all European data, while the single sales manager in a single region, a single country, can see only the data for the region. So sales row-level security is enforced using DAX, so it's enforcing at SSAS level. And for some regions, we also implemented object-level security, which means if you are in a region like, as I said, let's say China or India, you're not allowed to see gross margin. Then you will see only those sales measures which are granted to your account, while maybe your manager or the director for China can see everything. So this was quite handy solution for us. And in fact, this had a huge impact on the monthly sales reporting. In fact, with the previous system, the sales reporting process was executed once a month. Finance people used to download the data from the old system, copy and paste to Excel, prepare separate Excel spreadsheet, one for each sales manager, eventually transfer to PDF. And if they were in a region where some specific measures were not allowed to be distributed to all salespeople, they were used to cancel or delete some of the data. So select only the columns that they wanted to show to the salesperson, and then distribute the file via email. With the new system, we implemented a single point of truth in the organization. So from the top executive to the sales manager, everyone can see the same data, and they will see the data he is entitled to see. So we create a Power BI dashboard. The dashboard is published on the Power BI service. Everyone can access it using the mobile or an iPad or computer. So, and data is refreshed every night. So we shifted from having a monthly reporting process, which was completely manual, to a daily reporting process, which is completely automated. And of course, something which I really love, that you have people focus on analyzing the data instead of producing the data, spending hours and hours just creating a Excel spreadsheet and sending out via email. A similar impact we had on the real-time data reporting. So one of the things I learned visiting the several facilities while gathering requirements is how much people love real-time data. I remember once when I was in procurement, I had the opportunity to visit one of the largest pet food manufacturing facility in the world. That was a very huge facility where they produce kibbles for cats and dogs. And when I visited the logistics department, I saw very large screens where you could see each time which order was going to be shipped to which location, which forwarder was used. That was quite impressive for me. Few months later, I was in the US, and I was in my boss's office, and he said, you know, yesterday we ordered pizza at Domino, and my son could use an app to track the pizza from the pizzeria to our place. Could we do the same? And immediately I thought about the situation where I saw in Czech Republic in that huge facility. So what he implemented here is something very, very similar. So we have the OLTP system. So the transactional system is DB2 based. And we didn't want to overload the transactional system with all people querying the transactional system. So we implemented a replica system. So we use a middleware to immediately transfer and migrate all the transactions which happens on the main transactional system to a SQL Server 2016. So this means that every time a transaction is executed on the main system, is replicated immediately after a few milliseconds on a SQL Server. And then we can build queries using Power BI, SQL Server reporting services, or even Excel using Power Query to extract the data. What you have done is you have installed large screens in the logistics office and in the warehouse where people can see at each moment which order being processed and shipped. which forward is supposed to pick up those goods. And this was, again, we established a single point of truth for all the entire organization, not only on a single facility, but if you are in the office in the morning, you want to see what's going to be shipped in the office from the facility in Zhuhai, China, you can just open up your iPad and check real-time data. That was a big change in our organization. So that was the most, let's say, technical part I wanted to talk to you. But I want to talk to you also about other things. One is the Azure Data Catalog. Azure Data Catalog, I didn't know about that, but I learned through going to other conferences and meeting other people that it's basically for end users, it's like a Google. It's a Google-style search area where you can type in whatever you want. And from our perspective, you will register data sources and databases, all the information you need on it. The advantage of it, they can enter the system, they can go to this website, type in words which are in the common use in the company. For instance, we use COGS as to say cost of goods sold. So if you type in COGS, it will tell you all the reports, tables, views, and columns in the database which you can use if you want to build something on COGS. That was pretty much something very, very handy for end users. As I already mentioned, I also liked a lot the opportunity to have these focus group sessions, which means we had the opportunity to travel and visit several facilities and meet end users to gather their requirements, but also to build a relationship with them. For instance, I have a global role. I'm based in Italy, but most of the time I talk to people in China, India, or United States, or Brazil. So for them, it was for me also was difficult to talk to them. But now that I visit them, I know who they are and started building a relationship for them. When they ask me something, it's very easy for me to get in touch with them and to reply their questions. So some of the key takeaways from this presentation. For sure, using a self-service BI platform is something which can satisfy different reporting requirements, both analytical but also real-time. Implementing something similar requires you to improve your efforts in terms of training, because with the old system you had just to train people about the system, because the reports were created by IT. They didn't care. They didn't have to take care about the structure of the data underneath. Now they can do self-service, so they need to know both the system but also the data. So we spend a lot of time training people about how the data are connected, so how the structure are connected. Again, as I say, never underestimate the importance of real-time reporting for business. There are some business critical processes which really definitely need real-time data. And when you think about analytics, you tend to forget this, but when you then meet with people which will use your system every day, I'm sure they will make sure that you understand that for them real-time is really mandatory. And also something which you already heard multiple times this morning, integrating data from multiple sources, in this case from multiple systems which are acquired by a main company, is really something which you really have to take care of and which will take away a lot of your time. So this is all what I wanted to talk to you about today. I think we have a couple of minutes more for any question you may have. Please, I will be around the venue here for today and tomorrow, so feel free to reach me out if you want to talk about something. Thank you.
Guys, if you have a question, you can ask now.